Welcome to Pull the Pin Already War Room Edition. I'm Jim. Here with me today is, as usual, Mike, and our special guest today is Dontavious.
What's going on, people?
Mike?
Hi. Stage fright. Hey.
You new at this, Mike? Is this your first episode? What's,
Yeah.
We're trying to make our guest feel special here, huh?
Yeah. I got kind of nervous there. Sorry.
So maybe we'll start off good here. Like, obviously, you're a veteran. Well, do you want to share anything about what you served and where you served, or anything like that? Anything that makes you special?
Man, I did about 6 years in the Army. I was in the Army Reserve. I was fortunate to have one deployment under my belt. I served. I was deployed to Shendan, Afghanistan. Was probably the best times of my life. To be honest, I had great leadership. It was a time where I was young and still trying to figure out who I am. So it was a great experience all around. Had a great unit. Man, that's one of the most memorable times of my life. But I was a transportation coordinator, logistics. I was a FOBIT, didn't leave the FOB, but still a great thing. So
cool. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your service.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Were you anywhere there, Mark? Mike, weren't you?
I don't know what it sounds familiar. I was in Kandahar, and I did a couple of years at Bagram. I heard of that, but I don't know exactly where it is.
He never came out of his bunker, so.
Who, me? I used to leave the FOB all the time, dude.
Yeah. No, Shendan was on the west side of Afghanistan.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I really don't know where it is now. And yeah, just to correct you once again. Yeah, west side. Just to correct you again, Jim, I used to leave the FOB a whole lot of times, man. Every time we went on vacation, and then
Starbucks.
you had to come back.
He was a contractor there. He was a make sure you understand that. Don't mislead any of these veterans.
I tried. Wife wasn't having that.
Yeah, I always say I seen the war zone more once I got out the military.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was interesting. It's good though. It's good. So what do you do right now, man?
Right now I'm self-employed. I'm a business owner.
Okay.
I franchise owner. Own a consulting company called Schooley Mitchell. We work with businesses, help them reduce expenses to areas on merchant services, small package shipping, waste, and telecoms. So I think it's a great thing we're doing right now. I mean, even when the country's booming and everything's working well, I think you should always save money. You should never overpay, right?
Right.
It's hard to get rich. The objective to get rich is to keep your expenses low and your profit high, to increase the profit margin. So I love what I do. I love helping. So I think it's a great fit for me.
I think it's a good market for it too. I mean, I think a lot of rich people are rich because they're very frugal. So, but then you get a lot of entrepreneurs that just jump in there and think they need to throw a lot of money at stuff to get results. So
yeah, that takes a lot of convincing. Sometimes the younger entrepreneurs are the hot shots. You know, it's like, oh, hey, I could just keep making more and more money. Like, well, that's working harder. You know, why not just decrease your expenses and you'll still make more money theoretically.
Right.
You work smarter, not harder. I don't know. But,
those are companies that normally, when stuff hits the fan, as they say, then the first thing they do is cut personnel.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. I'm trying to. Right now, I think of it like, hey, it's the middle of a pandemic, right? So you want to cut people, and there's a lot of jobs that are not hiring. Things are slow. And you're cutting people, I think you should try to hold on to every employee you have.
Right.
That helps one more family out. I don't want to see. I can't imagine. You lose your job and now you're trying to go for welfare, and hey, maybe they're backed up because they have less employees, so the process takes even longer. So that's a tough situation all around.
Yep, I agree.
Well, I hope you get plenty more opportunities to help the people out.
I appreciate it, man. I'm for the people. You know, people's champ. I don't know.
That's that's one good thing. Maybe we identify that. I mean, that's one good thing I love about like veteran-owned businesses, because veterans already know they know a lot of the hard skills, the discipline, all that, but they also they come with the right mentality, because it's not always about getting rich, because no veteran was ever getting rich in the military. Well, unless you're a high-paying officer that snoozes in with politicians, but most of us hardworking grunts down the bottom, we're not getting rich.
That's right,
for sure.
What'd you say, Mike?
I said some people get kickbacks, from contracts and stuff. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You was on one of those contracts?
No, no. I have no clue what you're talking about.
Right. Classified.
Yeah. Trying to get a job over there now. No, just joking.
We cleaned them
so
out.
What else you want to talk about, Dontavious?
Man, whatever. I'm open to anything and everything. Some current events. We talk about football, whatever.
Hey, the floor is yours.
Man. All right, we can talk. I'm big into college football. I'm a Hurricanes fan. And I was watching the game this past Saturday. I'm not too happy with our performance against Clemson, man. I was very hopeful, and I get Clemson's been doing it for a long time, and they've had the ship, going in the right direction for a long time, and the Hurricanes have been inconsistent over the years and had a lot of bad coaching and a bad culture. But I felt like this was the year. I mean, granted, it's a long season to go. We could still meet them in the ACC championship game, but I was heartbroken because I feel like outside of a couple star players and a couple young guys, I feel like a lot of the team didn't show up. Wide receivers dropping the ball, quarterback not putting the passes where they need to be in some instances. The coaches just not really adjusting. I felt like we beat ourselves a lot, and that wasn't the best version of our team to show up. I mean, granted, each week you want to get better. You want, each week you want to improve. But I felt like we improved weeks 1 through 3, and then here comes the fourth week, and we didn't improve. We took a step back. It was kind of reminiscent of the past Hurricane teams we've had over a couple of years. So
okay,
I don't know.
Yeah, like me, I'm an avid college football fan. Yeah, I don't think there's anything you can tell me about college football that I would know. Yeah, I don't know.
I know they're football players that go to college.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask.
After high school, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I wanted to ask Dontavious, because I think this is not the year to be hard on your teams, because I think even there's players that can't play because of the COVID stuff, and I think it's really hard to evaluate a team this year because it's really in turmoil this whole season. And some places have fans, some places don't. So I don't really know if it's really fair to be hard on your team, or even to bask in the glory right now, because they could be facing a team where star quarterback gets COVID and can't play.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm under the mindset this is the year for, like, you see a lot of teams that generally haven't been good over the past couple of years, and now they're doing well. I mean, you look at the Browns. That's an organization that's been known for sucking in the NFL, but this year they're having a pretty good year.
Wait a minute. Don't they have Odell Beckham?
They had him last year too. But no, I think so. In the college ranks, a lot of teams didn't have the opportunity to practice, and where we had at least 4 games to practice, even though we had a new offensive coordinator, we at least had 4 games. 4 days of practice, which that accounts for something. And the country kind of went into shutdown, and a lot of players had to go back home to work out and continue working out. At that point, I get it when you have the Alabamas, who's the Clemsons of the world, Ohio States of the world. Their training facilities top notch, you know. So when players are there, hey, they get top notch, you know, coaching or strength and conditioning and all that stuff. But when everybody's home, it's up to the player to put the work in. It's up to the player to get creative, because not everybody's going to have a nice weight set or access to a gym. So it's up to the player. So I felt like that kind of evened the playing field. I know people are going to come into the season not in the best shape. A lot of mistakes are going to be made. So I felt like with everything going on in the world with COVID and a lot of teams having turnover and not being able to even practice, even though we had 4 opportunities to practice during I believe the spring, and our playbook on offense is so easy, I felt like that gave us a leg up and some continuity. So once we come back in the fall and fall practices did start back, that we can be a little bit ahead of some other people. But I think this is the year where we can definitely make it happen. Clemson has some holes. I'm gonna say Clemson because that's our goal. ACC championship, not really the playoffs right now, but just get to the ACC championship and win it, then worry about everything else. But I think if we can make it back there, we can make some adjustments. We can play with them. I think this is the year. Next year, probably not. But everybody's a little bit older, and I mean Trevor Lawrence may be gone, but everybody's a little bit older.
Who's that?
Trevor Lawrence, that's Clemson starting quarterback. I mean, he might be the number 1 pick.
I thought you said Trevor Noah from CNN, but go ahead.
Oh, nah, Trevor Lawrence.
I can't tell if Mike is taking notes or falling asleep.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about Trevor Noah, man. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, okay. Hey, I don't know anything about Trevor Lawrence.
Hey, we just make it up as we go.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, that's just been my thing, man. Just coming off this weekend was pretty down. I was pretty upset.
Oh, okay.
I know,
how you feeling now?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah, you're feeling great. That's great.
Better. I'm here with you guys.
Yeah, okay.
It's a game. Right. I'm not playing. I need to stop being so down. Man, a couple years ago, this was when I was really big into the NFL before I realized college is a little bit more exciting. I'm a huge Cowboys fan, and then when they would lose, that destroyed my whole week. So I had to evaluate myself.
Should we stop here, Mike?
Yeah.
Should we stop here, Mike?
Bad connection. Bad damn connection.
Oh, who you like?
We don't need to talk about that right now.
Yeah, I can't discuss that.
Let's wait till next year. I'll tell you who I like.
I can't even embarrass myself next year.
Though, right? You're a Dolphins fan, right?
Say what?
You're not a Dolphins fan, though, right?
Oh no. Giants.
Oh, ill.
Yeah, let's move on.
Hey, at least y'all had a Super Bowl recently. We still living off what we did in the 90s.
Yeah.
Recently.
I mean, more recent than we had.
In the last 2 decades.
Yeah, more recent than we had.
Like within your lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, being a Giants fan is tough. Mike, I didn't know you were a Giants fan.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I'm a Giants fan, but
once again, we don't talk about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's been good until Dontavious got on the show.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm glad Eli gone. That dude was the luckiest dude.
Overrated.
I really despise that man because he would throw up some bull crap and it always worked out in his favor.
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
He got more. He wasn't like a Montana or even like his brother. You know, to me, he got a lot of credit for what the receivers did. You know, you throw the ball 3 to 5 yards off the mark, the receiver makes it happen, but he gets credit for it.
Wait. You can say that about the Giants, but you better not even think that you can't compliment the Cowboys front line. I mean, you could have put the worst quarterback in the NFL, Kaepernick or whatever, behind the Cowboys line, and he could have been a superstar. And not to mention they had superb receivers.
Yeah.
Kaepernick wasn't bad. You said why you gotta say worst quarterback in the NFL and Kaepernick?
I said you could put the worst and Kaepernick. You could put them both back there. And they probably
the Cowboys O-line was skill. Eli was just lucky, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
The Cowboys.
No, that's what I'm saying. The Cowboys front line was amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing for their quarterback and their running backs.
Yeah,
I mean, you could walk. I mean, you could bring 4 players through some of the holes they would create. But then you got guys like Emmitt Smith, and he was good, but I think he was just great because of the Cowboys front line. I mean,
everyone knows that.
Aikman and all that. They had an awesome front line.
It's like people said back in the days, if Barry Sanders had the Dallas Cowboys front line, all the records would have been broken.
Shattered.
Yeah.
I grew up naive. I grew up believing Emmett was better than Barry until I really got older and I started to wow. You know what I'm saying? Evaluate. I said, Barry was just on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Just like you said, if he played for the Cowboys, he would have broke. He probably could have broke it with the Lions if he decided to keep playing. True. I think he stopped like 2,000 yards short or something like that.
Yeah.
1,000 something.
It's like he didn't care. He didn't want it. That wasn't he's been like that since high school. So yeah.
So I want to go back because I know it's more sensitive, but you're telling me Kaepernick was a good quarterback?
Oh, here we go.
Great. What? I didn't really catch it.
Yeah. I definitely think Kaepernick could still play in the league. You think he could play in the league? Yeah. How you have a quarterback that played for San Francisco, brought them to relevance, and you took him to I think it was an NFC Championship or a Super Bowl or something like that, and then a couple years later, because his stance about what's going on in the world, and now all of a sudden you're telling me,
whoa,
you got quarterbacks like.
Time out. That benching was before the stance. He was on the bench before he made his stance. If you're being realistic, and I'm not taking a shot at you, but if people are being realistic, if he didn't take that knee, take a shot. If he didn't take that knee, you can't tell me that he wouldn't have played for another team in the league. You can't tell me the Dolphins couldn't have used him. Oh, he probably could have worked his way around. Or the Browns before they got Mayfield. You know what I mean? You can't tell me there's teams around the league, even the Giants before they went and drafted this high overall pick, that there was teams that could have used his services. Even now still there. Sure. I'm not doubting that. I think he definitely has some talent. But you got plenty of wide receivers that had lots of talent but couldn't keep their mouths shut about things or couldn't stop snorting the cocaine. I mean, you know that personally because Cowboys are infamous for their felonies. They ruin their careers. So shut up, play football, and you probably will go far. But I'm not one to tell someone to shut up. Like what? Look, if LeBron wasn't LeBron, he wasn't the face of the NBA. Would people be telling him to shut up? He does tell LeBron to shut up. Yeah, I would tell him. I don't think he should shut up though. Why not? Have a voice. You have a voice. You should use it. Just because but just because you have a voice doesn't mean you should use it. I mean, why not? Say what? No, you're a basketball player. Bounce the ball, shoot the ball, pass the ball. Now that doesn't mean on his own he can't go out and run some fundraiser, start something. But I think if you're no, you don't get to have that. No, he shouldn't do that. What? No. Why you say that? Because he shouldn't be talking about no social issues. So he shouldn't be doing no fundraisers to help people. Why can't he have a voice to say that? But if he can have a vote to vote for the president, that changes everything. Why can't he have a voice to speak on? Now you're getting deep. You show me where somebody voted for a president and that changed something. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he has the opportunity. I know. What I'm saying is he has the opportunity, like the freedom to do it. Right. So if you have the freedom to do it, and if you have a platform, you should use that platform for whatever reason. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the platform thing. I agree with the right to say it. The platform thing is wrong because think about it. President Trump has a platform, but everybody doesn't want to hear everything he has to say. So he has a platform, and nobody wants to. No, that's different. Well, it doesn't matter. He has a platform. Everybody doesn't want to hear what he has to say, but there's a great number of people that agree with what he has to say, and they believe what he has to say. Everybody may not want to hear what LeBron has to say about social injustices, but that doesn't mean that it shouldn't be said. But that doesn't mean that you can't nobody's tuning in to President Trump to hear about any full court press or anything not related to his job and position. And I think that's what we're talking about. I don't care. LeBron wants to talk to me about posting up on, little guys and draft or trying to get all your friends to play so you can win cups or whatever they call championships there. Sorry, I'm a hockey guy. But he wants to talk basketball. Hey, I'll listen. I mean, the man knows basketball. So your platform doesn't just give you the right to talk about crap you know nothing about. And that's
but you're assuming he doesn't know anything about.
Oh no, I hear what he says. Oh, I hear what he says.
You're assuming he doesn't. You could say he could say a lot, and you can make an assumption that he doesn't know.
Let's get it on the record then. Let's get on the record, Dontavious.
Okay,
are black people being hunted by cops?
Are black people being hunted by cops?
Now, remember, you're black. No. You have to be included in that. Well, that's something stupid that LeBron said. Now, if LeBron said, I feel like I'm being hunted by cops, or some black people feel like they're being hunted by cops, then that's okay. But to say a stupid statement like black people are being hunted by cops, it may be true in some other countries, because I can't speak for that either. But that's a stupid thing to say. And that's something, to me, you should, if you're going to give your platform stance, then you need to be educated, at least saying something that's not, or at least apologize. I say stupid stuff. I have to apologize.
But that's his opinion. Why apologize for your opinion?
What does he have to apologize for your opinion? Oh my God! What does he have to apologize?
He feels.
No, he didn't say he feels.
If he feels like black people, but he said black people are being hunted by cops.
Right.
That's how he feels.
No, he didn't say that's what he feels like about black people are.
So
you just assuming because he said it.
He didn't have to say it, but he said it. He's telling you how he feels.
Oh God.
You get what I'm saying? He's telling you how he feels. Black people are being hunted by cops, right? I don't feel that they are, but maybe he does.
With a platform.
I can't tell you how. Yeah, and honestly, if I was in his same situation, I would shed light on it too. I would do that as well. But I'm also under the belief of you have racist leaders. For example, the LA Clippers. Who was the dude? Sterling a couple years ago, and he was racist. So here he's the owner of a franchise, got a whole bunch of black players playing for him. You think he likes them? No, he's using them, right? Those people shouldn't be in the positions that they are. Like that. That's what I don't like. I don't like that. So when you have people that are all around the country in positions that make a difference.
So let me get this right then. If LeBron says something that he feels, even if it's incorrect, that's okay. But if the LA owner says something that he feels, even if it's not okay, it's wrong, it's not okay.
No, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You can state how you feel.
So, but you said that the LA guy shouldn't be in that position. When he said
I'm not saying he
racist.
shouldn't be in that position. What I'm saying is he literally out his mouth said something racist. Did LeBron say something racist out his mouth? Okay. I didn't hear it. I don't. So LeBron's taking a stance against how he feels and what he's seeing done to his people, right? If Sterling was to come out,
is that you guys? Are you his people?
That's right.
All right. I just want to make sure. I just want to get that right. I want to know. Can I not be LeBron's people? Am I not allowed to be
I mean, you can. You can't just.
Okay.
I don't think you know the saying how some people invited to the barbecue, right? Oh. Some people, you people. It doesn't matter your color, but on certain things, it's hard to say you're one of what. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. How can I say this?
So can I ask you though? Can I ask you just to clarify for a second? So if Mike is a policeman and he's killing black people, is he one of the people or not? Because I mean, Mike likes to hunt black people.
It depends on.
I think. I'm just saying. I think
it depends on. It depends on how he's doing it, why he's doing it. Is it the same motive as someone that's a racist cop? Racism is every color, so it's not just whites that are racist. I think generally people want to end police injustice. It's not just police injustice for white people. That goes for black, white, Latino, every race. It's long overdue. You have areas of this country where police are just being overly aggressive, and it's uncalled for, and they get a slap on the wrist, or maybe nothing at all. They're suspended without pay, suspended with pay.
Well, those are just individual. You can't lump all police officers in one category. Those are just individual incidents. They're separate. Just because it happened in California, some happened in Texas and New York and Florida and Georgia. And just because it's in Kentucky and Tennessee and Arkansas, maybe a couple in Utah as well. It's not, yeah, I know. Maybe, just maybe up in Ohio, a couple incidents in Michigan
Mike,
also.
I don't appreciate your sarcasm.
Oh, okay.
I think we've already discussed this, that there's even potential for certain big city departments to be way more represented and aggressive than a lot of your smaller town policemen. But when you do lump them in together, it's a wrong assessment. It's just wrong.
Well, wouldn't that be the same as if you have a protest going on and some idiot decides to throw bricks and stones and break windows, and then the people of said protest get labeled as a group doing this violent act?
Well, yes, I agree with that under one condition.
Oh, it's always a condition. Please explain.
Well, because you have to disown yourself from them.
Oh, perfect.
I think like we've discussed before, Mike, I don't think police are bad. I think police culture can be bad. Yeah. And I think they don't want to protect these bad police, because me and you both know that if there's a bad one, you don't want anything to do with them.
Right.
But so sometimes you can't get rid of them.
So if it's happening, and those are, as Mike said, like isolated incidents. But then you're saying, Jim, you have to kind of police the police in a way.
Well, we do there are things in place.
Good cops have to look out and make sure like they get rid of the bad cops. Is that happening enough? I don't think so.
No, and I'll tell you that for a fact. But you're looking at
I don't think that's happening enough.
You're looking at it from an outside perspective, because you can't just assume that just because it's not happening that good cops don't want it to happen. Police unions protect a lot of cops, even the bad cops. Sometimes the bad cops have a little coup in there, or sometimes the bad cop knows the bad police, what's his name? I can't even think of the guy's name that's in charge of it. Gosh.
In charge of what?
The police department.
The chief?
The chief. I thought maybe that word was offensive. I can't use words like chief anymore. So the police guy in charge might be bad, and he might be protecting the bad cops under him. I mean, so there's a lot of different scenarios that are not considered because you're getting outside perspectives of what those people should be doing.
I agree. And I'm not one to ever say F the police, because that's lumping everybody together. But when I see a video of multiple officers doing something illegal and not one steps in to intervene, that I think you're all bad. It doesn't matter if I go out.
Elaborate, because if you're going to talk about Floyd, we can discuss that, because we've already broke that down.
All right, but let's say I'm going out on a patrol with you, and you're doing something overly aggressive, right? And maybe you have a history of it. I don't know, but for this instance, I see you doing something and you're stepping on someone's rights. Now I could intervene right there, or I could wait and I could back you up and be like, I got your back, and then we step to the step away from the scene, but hey, and I pull you aside and talk to you about it. Right? There's multiple ways to handle it. Myself, I would handle it right there at the scene. That's not right, bro. You need to
but stop for a second, because this is where I want to talk about. This is exactly the outside perspective. What is at risk if you did stop that right there at the scene? Not that I'm saying it's a priority, but you got to think of the all around factors of what's going on right now. What are you doing? And I literally had this happen to me in public, where one of my FTOs pulled me aside because I didn't do a thorough search on a Christian kid that was just there meeting his friends. And he literally had me on the back of a police car, in public, both of us police car, showing me how to do a frit. And I'm sitting here like, do you realize how embarrassing it is for this police department right now, what you're doing? And I'm just saying that, not that it's an excuse not to correct a behavior, because there has to be a limit. But if it's something that's going to embarrass the force by two cops fighting at a scene, you got to be a little smarter than that. So you just can't take it for granted that if a cop's doing something, they need to just stop it. Now, if it's extreme and he's beating somebody or something, yes, I agree with you. But
that's where the overly aggressive part comes in.
Well, right. If we're talking strictly overly aggressive, sure, I get it. I guess you'd have to do something.
That's what I'm saying.
But you still got to be
overly aggressive, leaning on someone's neck for 8 minutes. I think that's overly aggressive.
You still got to be subtle about it. You can't walk up and push a cop off. I mean, at some point the cop's going to pay the price. Well, maybe you're right. Maybe you can. Maybe, I guess in the line of duty.
Well, that's what he's talking about, though, Jim. You see cases like this, and the cops never, as you put it, pay the price. So you know that's why
never's not fair.
Okay.
Because the media is not.
Well, I want to say they don't get.
Okay, justice is not served when you see injustice.
Okay? I want to say, let's say in something like Breonna Taylor, right? Here you have a cop. What took so long? I don't know the whole situation, the booking process. What took so long? If I were to go ahead and go out here and kill somebody, right? I was deemed, I guess, guilty, or I was a suspect, or I was a person of what? I forget the term of it.
Person of interest?
Person of interest. I'm pretty sure they find me, or they do an investigation. They try to find, if they know where I'm at. I assume if they know it's me, hey, we need to come talk to you. I don't understand what took so long for that to take place. That to me smelled
like to take place.
A lot of for this officer, for them to go get this officer. What took so long? It to me smells like there's a lot of corruption there.
Which officer are we talking about?
The officer that
or any officer? I mean, there are procedures. Like there are procedures.
I understand. I understand.
And I would even argue that when you act too quickly and you assume something, it creates more of a problem, because then it's harder to prosecute. And then you got the people in the media and all that going crazy. Oh, look, they must be guilty. And yet when they find out the evidence, they walk. It makes it more like, holy cow, everybody thought he was guilty and he's walking. So you have to follow some sort of procedure. And it's not like the policeman's going to run away like a regular person could. So there is time. I mean, and not to mention the cop has a gun right there. So you kind of want to make sure you get the gun off him before you start. Hey, we're going to arrest you.
Right.
I don't know, man. It's tough for me, because you know, you're going through the military background, and even when you're put in a war zone, like there's rules and procedures to follow. It's not just, hey, we're in war, I don't like the way this guy's looking, I'm just shooting him. Well, it doesn't work that way.
I'm not trying to sharpshoot you or anything, but you said something very, very important. There's rules, there's procedures, right? Personally, when they start talking about no knock versus knock warrant, I'm like, man, I don't like no knock warrants personally. But, well, no, I'm sorry, I don't have an issue with them. But because of where I was, it takes a lot. You got to go through a lot to get it. There's a lot of dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's. So for there to be a mistake, it's like, that's like unheard of for me, unless there's some process somewhere in the process, something is being skipped. So when you talk about the Breonna Taylor case, like what exactly did they do wrong, the police officers? From your view, from everything you've heard, read, or whatever, what exactly did they do wrong?
Man, I feel like it was, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm not speaking on like a different case or getting them mixed up. The officer was trying to shoot her boyfriend, correct?
I don't think he saw the boyfriend. They just saw the gunfire coming from down the hall. I don't think he could tell. They can determine who was even down the other end of the hall.
And
how long is the hallway in an apartment?
I don't know. They walked in the door. I mean, you got to figure it's at least 20 feet, and if it's not, the lights aren't on.
Okay, go ahead.
And the officer ended up hitting her, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So when they did an investigation on the officer, I believe it was a female officer.
Whoa.
I don't know that. I
didn't hear that one.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But you could be right. You could be right. No, you could be right, because I don't know if it was a female or not. I didn't even know if there were females on there.
No. I probably am confusing that case with another one.
Oh, you're talking about the one up in Dallas, probably, where she was convicted.
Yes.
Where she went into the wrong apartment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go. My bad. I was confusing the two.
All right.
Hey, welcome to the show. We do that all the
time. We don't always know everything we're talking about either.
Hey.
Yeah. We were arguing about Obama being Republican and Donald Trump being Democrat. So yeah, it happens.
Hey man.
But I think what I think about Breonna Taylor is a lot of people are saying it was a senseless death. Right. And then if you jump on, let me jump on the bandwagon with Jim and say a lot of people, with everything that's going on in this country with police officers, it just escalated a lot of the hype and a lot of the false reporting, if you will, in my opinion, about the entire case. That's why a lot of times when the media is pushing something out there, I just step back because I'm not one to believe in the media. So I just, the truth to come out, hopefully later on, you know what I mean?
That's been the trend.
I feel what you're saying, and that is a great point. But
because I heard,
so when the Floyd case happened, when I first saw it, it was just a couple minute clip.
Yeah.
It certainly didn't show what he did. It just showed what the officer did. And even later down the line, you got the whole thing come out and it showed what happened. And in that instance, I don't think the officers should have been the judge, jury, and executioners. And I think those other officers should have intervened. And that's an area where I think the police need to police themselves.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the entire video. We had broke it down, and Jim and I were like, "Hey,
watch our episode."
Yeah, you got to watch the episode.
Gotcha. Yeah,
but
what episode number?
Yeah, it's where one guy did say, "Hey, should we do this?" Remember, Jim?
Yeah, twice he tried to intervene, but the guy outranked him, so the guy told him because he was a rookie or something.
Yep.
Right. So the rookie. I mean, have you ever been a rookie?
It does happen. It does happen where certain people they try. So, and I don't know, man, unless you've been in that position, we can always say what we would have done if we were in that position, especially being vets, because we have been in similar positions. You know what I mean? But when the media jumps in there and say this, that, I hate it when they do that. Even if I agree with them, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Just shut up. So it's kind of like what people say about LeBron. Just shut up and play basketball. I'm like, just shut up and just report exactly what happened. And that's all I want from you.
Well, so let me ask you this, and I know Jim knows the law better than I do.
No, he doesn't.
What if
you don't know anything.
Let's say in that situation, if the rookie officer were to shoot the officer that was leaning on his neck, or to go ahead and eliminate or get them to back off, right? And he actually fired upon them because they were about to kill this man and commit assault, right? The punishment didn't fit the crime, and they were being overly aggressive. So what if that rookie officer shot his fellow officers? What now? Is there a law against the officers doing that? Is it illegal for the officers to do that? What would happen in that scenario to that rookie officer had he taken that time?
I think he would be charged with the crime.
With killing it. Well, let's address the elephant in the room first. How is the rookie even supposed to know the outcome? And I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to nitpick, and even me and Mike broke it down. And I do think Chauvin's behavior was way overboard. I don't know if he was deliberately trying to murder Floyd, but I do think his behavior was overboard. But I can even tell you from certain views and angles, you might not even known he was on his neck. He could have been on his shoulder blade, but you couldn't see it. So I think we're making a lot of assumptions, and that's the problem with a lot of media and people who don't know. They're making assumptions. Like if I was me, that rookie cop, and I shot a cop because I thought the guy was going to die, what if he didn't die? What if Floyd never died? Then I'm going to jail for shooting a cop. Like
some people would say you saved his life.
Yeah, right. But I'd still be going to jail for shooting a cop.
But that's what I'm asking. So if that rookie cop shot the guy, obviously he falls off of Floyd's neck. Floyd now is able to breathe and he lives, right? But I get Floyd was resisting arrest, but he's sitting here telling you he can't breathe, and there's 3 officers holding him down. At what point do you guys say, "Hey, all right"?
You got to watch the video, otherwise we're going to rehash the whole thing.
All right, cool.
I'll
watch the video.
Because I mean, in the video, you see Floyd does say, "I can't breathe" when he's getting out of his own car. So it's not the first time he said he couldn't breathe. And we did say that every moment at the end was wrong, with what they were doing. Once he was on the ground, not resisting anyway, even the passively resisting, they should have not been laying on the guy. So we do agree with you. So maybe we talk about some other case or some other incident that we didn't already rehash, unless it's just a principle you want to get.
I'll go back and watch it. But no, that's just something that's been.
Well, to answer your question though about an officer shooting another officer, I think he or she would need a lot more than what was going on. For instance, I don't want to just do the hypotheticals, but if an officer's shooting people, like you see in some movies where soldiers executing people, and you're like, "Hey, stop!" And then next, somebody pulls out a gun and shoots them. Then that right there is justifiable.
Right.
But for even with the Floyd case, for him to like get up and immediately go to deadly force, it's wrong.
Right. He could have. He could have had
I think one of you guys said earlier about why not just couldn't somebody just go up to the officer and push him off or something like that? Hey, that's saving a life too if we're going to use that scenario. So
push him off, tase him,
off,
whatever.
But to go to a deadly force, that's wrong. That would be
wrong. I mean, like I said, in this scenario, I would have been more likely to say, okay, get off. I'll cover him here. Like relieve him of his spot. And then you can do whatever you think is necessary. And there's options, like I'm saying, those are options. But we like we hashed in there, you got to consider Chauvin was a senior guy and these guys are rookies. So this was a scenario too. And I told Mike, this was a scenario that once they tried to put him in the police car, it went to a place I never experienced or expected.
Right.
So these rookies were probably like dumbfounded, like, what do we do now? I mean, this guy literally crawled through the police car. Like, what do we do?
Yep.
And then he requested to be put on the ground. And then so there was a lot of confusion. I think people are just, like Mike said earlier, people need to just take a step back, breathe, and stop, assuming that, black people are being hunted by cops without facts. Wait for the facts. Unless you want to just talk about your feelings.
Disagree with that. I do think some black people are being hunted by some cops.
But you said some, and I can agree with that statement.
Black people are being hunted by cops.
Well, that's a generic statement that I can't agree with. Because you're being too generic, intentionally too generic.
Even some is too much. It shouldn't happen at all.
Right.
Yeah,
some is still too much. I get it. You can't.
Yeah, but I think a lot of times, like
evil, I get it.
Yeah, the gyms of the world, to me, they like even when something is proven about these guys were like emails, and we talked about that, Jim, about the emails and the text messages. It's the same thing with this lady up in Dallas, and you find out, where their mindset was towards people of color or, specifically black people. Like you find out after the fact.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So, and then when you see that, it's like, wow. So maybe it was intentional. You get what I'm saying? That's where the hunting comes in.
But we also know, I mean, you can even watch Law and Order on TV. We all know intent is one of the hardest things to prove because you have to be in someone's mind or they have to give a confession. And in your example, even if you can get this circumstantial evidence to say, well, Jim made a black joke. He must have been a racist. That's still circumstantial evidence. You cannot say that a man's mind and thoughts are intent. You just can't say that.
I don't think a black joke or a couple black jokes makes you racist.
But where's the line?
History of it.
Where's the line?
History of it. I think a joke is a joke. But if you have a history of making those jokes, that's primarily the only joke, then I kind of start to feel like,
yeah, but how are you going to build that? Like, let's seriously, how are you going to build that? Like, I mean, if I join the KKK, for example, I think that's a pretty overt act that I believe in what they do, but that doesn't make me a racist yet. Because maybe I don't even really understand what they are. So I think at some point there has to be a distinct overt act that's blatantly out in your face or an omission before you can prove my intent.
Wait, you said if you join the KKK, but you don't really know what they are?
Sure. Maybe I'm joining it to try to change their minds. Maybe I mean, my point is you can't really know my intent unless I tell you.
Or you admitted it sometime in the past.
Right, but that's telling you. That is telling you.
Well, you wouldn't necessarily have to tell me. You could be telling someone else.
Correct.
And it's recorded somehow.
Correct. If I verbally said, you know, I'm a racist, now you can clip that out and say, Jim said it. Jim said he's a racist. I know
it. 20 years.
I'm going to have to bleep that. But yeah, and I like to, you know, I just think we as people need to take a deep breath. We need to start, you know, stop being offended, you know, and I'm guilty of it too. You know, we need to stop thinking everything is about us. You know what I mean? Because it may not be about us. We need to step back and start saying, you know, maybe this has nothing to do with me, instead of jumping to those conclusions.
But Jim, that's hard. When you have a group of people that have been fighting for so long, they've been fighting for a specific group of people have been fighting for so long. It's harder tell me who that group is. It's just, well, black people.
So all black people?
Since we're on that subject.
All black people. Is that the
all
group?
Black people, all black people don't face the
specific group.
All black people don't face the same struggles, right?
Correct. And
I don't live in the hood anymore, right? So my experiences where I live at now are going to be different than someone that does live in the hood, that has to encounter racism from officers. The officers here where I'm at, I have no issues with them. I wouldn't complain and say F the police.
Why? Because you're black, but you're still black, right?
I am still black, but I haven't encountered
why do you not have any issues?
I haven't encountered any bad issues, but I know that those issues happen. So I can speak on issues that are happening for someone else that may not be able to, which ties back to how I feel about when someone has a platform and use that platform to speak up for someone that doesn't, right? I may not be homeless, but if I see a homeless person and I have food, I'm going to give it to them. I have money. Hey man, here, you know, go take care of yourself, whatever. Just having some compassion.
Yeah, but you shouldn't go to politicians and talk to them about the homeless.
I mean, why not? If it's going to make a change, or it can make a change in a positive way.
No, you stay in your place, dude. You're self-employed, right? You have your own business, right? Mm-hmm. You go out there and you help businesses save money, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do. You don't go to politicians and try to help homeless. No.
What are you talking? Can you figure this guy out, Dontavious? I don't know what he's talking about.
I disagree.
That's like LeBron talking about, you know, social issues. No, it's not his place. Right,
it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be your cup of tea. So by using that logic, I'm not a porn star, so I shouldn't have sex because that's not my place.
Whoa!
Oh, did you just go there?
That's the logic that you're using. At least that's what I'm hearing. So that's what I'm hearing.
I don't know
if I can say that. I don't know if it's that kind of show.
I think Mike is trying to be Mike is trying to be sarcastic here, and his sarcasm is like, it's like watching paint dry. You really don't know until you like. Wait a minute, is he sarcastic? He's got more facial expressions for other things, but when he's doing sarcasm, it's straight.
Yeah, no, it's all good. No, I understand. I'm just having a conversation, man.
You're good. We
just
don't.
having a conversation.
Yeah, but I think you need to you kind of shut it down with the porn thing. Okay, I'm done.
Hey,
I think it's good. I think we still got a lot to do, a lot to learn. But I think the core issues are not black and white. I think they're people. It's just people issues. I think we need to really understand people before we jump to our own problems and our own feelings and things like that. And we've discussed this. You know, what, Mike? What? Now you got something to say? Say it.
You have 3 vets on here right now. At any given time, we have at least 2 vets, right? But now we have 3 vets on here talking about
feelings.
Okay, we have 3 vets talking about non-military. We're giving our opinions about non-military things that are going on in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So some people would say, hey, you guys are vets. You don't know anything. So it's the same thing to me. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing.
We don't live in the world either.
Okay, LeBron lives in the world. So why can't he speak on it?
Well, he can speak. He just can't speak on while he's playing basketball, making stupid comments.
I love it.
When is the time for him to speak? When is the time for him to speak?
When he's on his own, on his little Twitter, his little Twitter feeds. He can do all the Twitter and he's tweeting whatever he wants.
So you're saying right after a game during the press conference, you're asking him about that play that cost him the game that he choked on or something like that.
I'll be honest with you, I don't really care what LeBron says. I think the more he speaks, when he speaks, the more ignorant he sounds, the less I'm going to listen to him. So it's just that simple. So I know he's probably a good basketball player, so I can mute the TV when he starts to talk. That's pretty simple. I don't really care. Everybody has the right to speak. I'm not opposed to freedom of speech. I just think if you're going to say something dumb, well, then our show probably wouldn't exist.
I was going to go there next. You two going to cut us off? Well, you said.
They're going to cut us off anyway.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. But I do agree. If someone has a platform, let them speak. If you agree with it, it's kind of like that old thing that goes around on social media. Hey, look, somebody else posted something I don't care about. I just kept scrolling. You know, like back in the day, you say, if you don't like it, turn the channel. So, and I'm a firm believer in that, man. If you don't like it, just like you said, mute the TV.
Yeah, I don't watch LeBron. I don't listen to him anymore. I don't really care what he says because to me, all the stuff he's trying to say is garbage. Because I can get totally on board. Here I am sitting, before 2 black guys that I'd probably do anything in the world for, but yet somebody would find a way to call me a racist because they clipped that one little time I said racist.
It is what it is. As long as you don't have a history of it, it is what it is.
Well, even if I did, could I change? Could I possibly change? Was there not a black man that converted KKK members?
Yeah, he converted over 200.
So are those people still bad people?
No.
So they can change. So therefore, the history really isn't relevant either, right?
Well, the history defines who you are today.
Does it?
That's if you were racist for the past 20 years and you made no effort to change it, you're still racist.
So what if you changed it?
It doesn't happen overnight.
But what if you changed it?
It doesn't happen one and over.
So then these guys weren't really converted?
No, if you change for sure, like, okay, you're not racist. I was. That's like, I'm not gonna use an example, but if you change, you change, no problem. But if you didn't, then yeah, you're still.
So you're saying if I did it again, then you can use my history against me.
Well, I don't think it's a point about using history against you. It's still, if you have this part of your history, like if you've been this way for 20 years and then Dontavious came along and now he's changed, and then today he's still a changed guy, but still all of that history made you who you are today. I don't think it's about judging you by it, or using it against you. It's just that's who you are. We are, you are the way you are because of your history, man. History, your experience.
That's who you were.
History. Yeah. All of that has molded you into the guy you are today.
And we're not proud of that, are we?
No.
Some of us.
All right, man. We got a lot of stuff in here.
Because Dontavious brought up a bad part of my past.
Cowboys?
Have it, man.
Come on. No.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, speaking of history, we could probably put this one in the history books because we're about going to take this pretty far. So why don't we pull the pin on this? Right. There's plenty more, and then I would love to have him come back too eventually too. Maybe we can get more deep into some other stuff like this, and maybe less sarcasm by Mike. Monotone.
Hey, I'm gonna figure out the sarcasm. I'm
I don't even have it figured out.
I gotta figure out everybody else's sarcasm.
Dontavious, I have been doing 20 some odd shows with this man, and I can't tell sometimes. I'm like, is he serious? Is he trying to goat me into something or what?
Yeah, no, I gotta figure out. I don't joke with everybody. Say, I'm sure y'all understand that. I don't joke with everybody. Say, everybody's gonna get different levels of sarcasm. But I'm gonna figure it out, Mike.
Well, at the end of the day, like even what we're trying to prove through these conversations, at the end of the day, if it's serious or not, who cares? We're still going to have conversation. We're still going to be friends. We're still going to hang out. We're going to get through all this crap. So I think that's really the point of it. You know, maybe next week I'll be black and I'll understand. No, that won't happen because I've been white all my history. So yeah, okay, all right, never mind with that idea. But either way, let's give Dontavious his opportunity to pull the pin on something, and don't pull it on me, all right? Because
pull the pin. I kind of already did it in the show. Speaking about what we spoke about, that was kind of my pull the pin. But I would say to add to that, I think a fix is just to have some love and compassion for one another. If something is morally wrong, then it's wrong. We as a country we got to do better. Pointing the fingers, everybody's not racist. I think it's becoming an issue to just you could ruin somebody's life, something they worked so hard to achieve for by falsely accusing. So I think we just need to have some compassion, as you said earlier. Just take a step back and be a little bit more patient in our approach and get all the facts. But that's pretty much what I want to pull the pin on. Just everything we talked about was kind of what was on my mind lately. Since all this kind of it's been happening since I was born, but it's now being shown more in our faces on, if not the TV, social media. So you're seeing it everywhere, and it's affecting a lot of people. So.
Is that good?
And
we're gonna give him credit for a pull the pin there, or
that wasn't a pull the pin.
He was kind of trying to put the pin back in.
Yeah, he put the pin in.
He was trying to
put it back in, Jim. Jim, he put it back in.
Yeah, he was trying to put that pin back in. And that's a veteran right there. Talk about down doors.
I'm gonna come up with another one.
Hey, all you gotta do is watch about 2 episodes, and he see I will pull the pin. He gonna be like, "Oh, okay, guys."
I got you.
No worries. We'll let you off the hook. It's no worries.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'd like to do this again with y'all.
Yeah, folks. We want to thank you for coming on, Dontavious. We appreciate it, and we love the conversation. Always have a good time on here.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all having me.
All right. Thank you guys also for joining us. We hope you did enjoy it. We hope you come back to see the next episode. And until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pin.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin already.